In this Blender Python tutorial, we'll be going over how to link objects, materials, and scenes from one blend file into another. Hey, I'm Victor Stepanoff. I'll be guiding you through this Blender Python tutorial. We'll start off with going over the basics of linking one blend file into another, and then I'll show you two exercises to solidify your knowledge. So let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and navigate to the scripting workspace right here, and then click new to create a new script. And now we're all set. I'll first write down the steps that we need to take to link one blend file into another with a Python script. I'm going to be using comments and I'll just write them right here. And here are the steps. At the very top of our script, we're going to be importing some functionality. We're going to be working with some paths. We need to know the path to a blend file that we'll be linking. Next, we have the import of BPY. The BPY is the module that allows us to press Blender's buttons and run its commands. Then we will, since we're going to be running the script multiple times, we'll need to be unlinking the blend file that we would add on each iteration of our script. So we're going to be taking a look at that. We'll define a path to the blend file using this module that we're going to import above here. Next, we'll execute the logic that links one blend file into another. And in this first use case, we're going to be linking objects from one blend file into another, and we'll need to add those objects into the scene collection. All right. Let's get started, and I'm going to go ahead and start writing and importing the modules that we need. The first module is pathlib, and that's the module that will help us work with paths and BPY, as I already explained. The next thing, we're not going to be going over the remove just yet. I want to show you that first, and then we'll add this code. Let's define the path to our blend file, and I've already created 3 blend files that we'll be looking at in this particular tutorial. I'll show you them as we start going over each one of these. The very first one is going to be the objects. Let me open that and show you what it has inside of it. And here is that blend file. It has a number of objects. So it has the icospheres, a plane, a camera, and a light. And we're going to be importing, or we're going to be linking all these objects into our current blend file that doesn't have any objects. And since we want to link it, we'll need to provide a path to this particular file. I put my files in the home folder and created a temp folder. So in your home folder, you should create a temp folder and put those blend files in them. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be exactly this particular scene. You just have to have a couple of objects so you can see how this all works. And let me start defining this particular path. And here's the code for that. I'm creating a new variable and assigning this particular string. So this creates a path object, and then I'm converting that path object into text, into a string. I'm getting the home folder right here. This will work on any operating system, Mac, Linux, and Windows. I have that temp folder, and inside of that temp folder, I was just showing you that object's blend file. Let's print out and see exactly what that variable contains. And I'm gonna be just running my script right now. I'll hit run right here, and to see the output, we'll need to open the system console. On Windows, you can find it under Window and toggle system console. On Mac and Linux, you'll need to follow a tutorial that I've created. Unfortunately, it's not that straightforward, but it's a pretty quick setup. And let me expand this, and you can see this is the path that we got right there. It's going to output exactly something like this. Of course, you're going to have your own username here, but that is going to be the idea, and it's going to be the same for Mac and Linux. Okay, so now we have this. I'm going to remove that, and it's time to add the logic that's going to be linking our blend files. And here is that logic. It might look like a lot, but it's not. We'll take this step by step. This is called a context manager if you've never seen this before. Basically, the short version of how this all works is this command, it gets executed, and that returns these 2 objects right here. And in particular, we're loading, we want to load our library. In particular, that's how Blender is calling the blend files. And we're providing the path, and we're saying that we want to link this blend file. So we're not copying the data, we're just saying that we're referencing that other blend file. And we'll see what the difference is after we import it, and I'll show you how it looks. As soon as this is done, it's going to return these two objects, and then inside of this block under this context manager, we can do some extra logic with these two objects. I'm just moving the objects from the file that we're importing. So this is this file right here, and the data2 is representing our current blend file that we're working in. And I'm just moving all these objects into that. We'll take a look at exactly what is contained here in just a minute, but this will allow, like this code already will allow us to execute and link these objects. By the way, you can link a whole list of other data blocks from one blend file to another, not only objects. Let's go ahead and clear the scene by hitting AX and then delete. And let's go ahead and run the script. There were no errors, that's good. And nothing really changed. As you can see, no objects appeared. But if we take a look at the blend file right here, you can see that it already has a library. So that is, remember that path that we defined just right here. So that is exactly it. It's Blender is telling us, hey, you've already linked something. And if we scroll down, we can take a look at the objects in particular from this blend file. And here they are. So we have the camera, the cube, the cylinder, the icosphere, the light, and the plane. And we can, you know what, we can do the following. Let's go ahead and open our view layer, and let's drag these objects right into our scene. So this is our scene collection up here, and I'm just going to be dragging this these objects right into our scene. And so I'm going to link that, and you can see how the objects are appearing in our viewport. I'm going to hit Control Space to get a closer view. And so these are the objects from that other blend file. Look at that. It's not the best way to do this by hand. Of course, you can do just what I did. And instead of doing this by hand, dragging from one outliner into another, let's write the code that will do this exactly for us. But before I do that, I want to show you what exactly is contained in this object before we exit this context manager and after we exit this context manager. So I'm going to write a for loop that's going to print out the contents, the name, and the type of whatever we have here. Let me just do that. And here's the first part. I'm just printing before a piece of text, and then I'm looping over all the objects and using the object name and printing out the object name and whatever that type would be. Okay, and outside of our context manager, I want to do the same thing. I'm going to get this code down here and right after, and let's go ahead and execute. So let me delete this, and let's go ahead and execute this script. And this is what I see in the system console. It's printing before. Remember, it's the before right here. And it's printing out plane, light, icosphere, cylinder, and then printing out the type right after. And as you can see, it's just a string. This means it's just a piece of text. It's not an object that's in that blend file. This is very important to note. Then something is happening. As you can see, it's telling me that this particular plane, light, icosphere is already linked, right? So something happened here. And as you can see right here, when we're printing after, you can see that it's actually already turned that into Blender objects. So before in the context manager, we couldn't do anything with those objects, but after, when we're done, when we exited the context manager, you can see that these are legitimate Blender objects, and we can start manipulating them. And that's really important to understand. Okay, let me delete this code. You can leave it if you want. I just wanted to illustrate a point. And now let's go ahead and link those objects into our scene collection. And here's the code. I'm creating a shorthand for this scene, for our current scene, just creating a variable called scene, and I'll be using it right here. You don't have to do this, you can write the whole thing right here, but I kind of like to keep it shorter. We're looping over those objects that we're just looking at, making sure that they're not none, meaning they don't represent anything. This is more of an error checking, that we want to make sure that we're linking things that exist. And if they don't exist, we're just going to continue looping over this for loop. But if they do, we're going to take our scene collection and add and link those objects into our scene collection. So let's go ahead and run the script. And as soon as I run the script, you can see our outliner. We have this link icon right here, and you can see that I'm going to hit Control Space, and you can see we have all these objects in our scene, and they are linked. But notice that if I, for example, press tab to enter edit mode, it's not really letting me do that because this is linked. And if you want to have the ability to edit them, you can change this link to false, and that should do it. But you know what? Let me delete all this, and let's go ahead and write this code that's going to remove this library. So remember, we're looking at our blend file. It has a libraries right here, and I'm going to write this code that's going to remove that before we do the next iteration. And here is that code. It's just going to run the batch remove and remove all the libraries that we have. Currently we only have one, but this should work for many libraries. We have multiple libraries linked. Let's go ahead and run this. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me comment all this out. So Control / it's a shortcut that allows me to comment this out. Let's go ahead and run this, and you can see as soon as I run the script, this library is going to disappear. And look at that, there's no more libraries. All right, I'm going to hit Control / again to undo this, and now we have our script. All right, let's go ahead and make sure, since remember last time I set link to true, and now I'm going to be copying the data over into our blend file with this link false. Go ahead and run it, and now let's go ahead and view layer, and you can see that there is no link icon anymore. And if we go in and start looking and manipulating our objects, you can see that now we can work with them. All right. And if you're learning something new and enjoying this tutorial, make sure to hit the like button on this video so I can understand to make more videos like this. All right, before we get into the exercises, let me quickly move this code into separate functions so we can have our code neatly organized. And I'm going to just select all this, hit tab to indent it, and create a new function called main. And so that's that. I'm going to delete everything by hitting AX and then delete. And I'm going to run the script, and nothing happens because we've just defined the function. Let's go ahead and call this function. So that's the definition, and this is the so-called call site. I'm going to call that function, and now we're up and running. All right, so that's the first thing. But let me extract this removing of those linked libraries into a separate function, and I'm going to call it remove libraries. I'm going to add this as a documentation string instead of a comment, and I'm going to move this function call right here. Next, I'm going to leave the create the definition of the file path right here, and I'm going to extract the code that's going to be doing the linking. So I'm going to hit Control X and then go up here and create a new function, and I'm going to call it link blend file objects. I'm going to provide the path that we're going to be importing, and I'm going to provide a keyword argument right here that is link, and I'm going to use that right here. This way, by default, we're not going to be linking, and we're leaving the choice up to the user, whoever is going to be using our function. For example, so let's put that right here, and since this is the default, this is the same thing as doing this, but if we want to set this to true, we would do this, and that would link the objects into our current blend file. I'm going to just remove this for now, and this looks good to me. Looks like it's going to be working. Let's go ahead and check that everything is working, and it is. Look at that. We have our objects. We can edit them, right? All right, let's go back. And for your first exercise, I want you to create a blend file that contains 2 scenes, and you can name it whatever you want. This is what I've done with mine. So I have my scenes right here blend file, and that blend file contains 2 scenes. One is an ico scene called ico, it has the icosphere in a plane, and the other one is called a monkey, which has a plane and Suzanne monkey head, and that's it. It doesn't have to be exactly the same, it just has to be 2 scenes, whatever you want to add into those scenes. And with those 2 scenes, I want you to link those scenes into the current blend file using our Python script, and go ahead and create a new function right here. You can maybe copy some code from this. It doesn't have to be optimal, right? Maybe in a real world project, we would make this more general, that would be able to support scene materials, collections, and so on. But I don't want you to be thinking about that just now. I just want you to create a basic function that will link scenes into the current blend file. All right, pause the video now and try this on your own. Okay, and this is how I would have done it. Here is my function. It's pretty straightforward. We're doing basically the same thing. I've just updated the name, the particular documentation string, and instead of objects, I'm just using scenes. Of course, I updated the path to our blend file that contains our scenes, and I didn't update the function call, so that should be updated on your end as well. Let me go ahead and delete everything from the scene, and let's go ahead and run the script. And it looks like nothing really changed, but if we go to the top, you can see there's 2 more scenes in our blend file now. So the ico scene and the monkey scene, exactly what we had in that original blend file. Okay, and for your second exercise, I want you to create a blend file that has 2 materials. They don't have to be fancy. Let's make 2 materials that have just a principal BSDF node and just set the base color to red and the other one to blue. And I want you to link only the blue material from that blend file. And here is my example of my blend file. I have this blue material and this red material. It's literally just a principal BSDF with a base color that's updated, right? And I want you to link only this blue material. So think about how you could do that. And go ahead and pause the video now and try this on your own. And this is how I would have done it. And I have a function, again, updating the name, the material, the same arguments, the same context manager, and right here is the main difference. Remember that the data from and data to are lists, and I'm just looping over the lists and the names in those lists in particular materials, and I'm creating this if statement right here that checks if blue is in the text, so in the string material name, and only then add this to the materials, in particular append it. So we append it to a list and we're appending that material. Let's go into shading and the shading workspace and make sure that, okay, we have these materials. This is probably from our iterations each time we ran the script. And let's go ahead and execute this script. Again, I updated the path and the call site right here. Let's run our script and let's go back into shading, and boom, you can see right there we have that single blue material. Remember, there were multiple materials. There was a red material as well, but we only grabbed that single one. And if you enjoyed this tutorial, make sure to check out this video right here. For more tutorials like this, make sure to subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.